Today we're visiting the Laplae Museum in Laplae town, Uttaradit, Thailand, and we're about 7 hours drive north of Bangkok, but we are close to Chiang Mai in the north. Now, this Laplae town, Laplae in Thai means hidden from sight, and this museum is quite fascinating. It serves as a cultural and educational center, offering insights into the history, culture, and traditions, local wisdom, and community lifestyles of the Laplae from the past to the present. Now, it is free of charge and open daily from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Quite fascinating. And as you can see, they have a team of people working hard to maintain the grounds and the lawn. One thing about Thailand, this is October, but it's very warm. And we're at the tail end of the monsoon, so there's quite a bit of rain. And you can imagine that grass and those plants grow very quickly. Now this is quite fascinating because we're getting an insight into what the actual architecture looked like of the early style Thai houses. And you'll notice that they oftentimes have this elevated platform that they're built on. Of course, we do not wear our shoes going into a Thai house. Now, why is the home elevated like this? Well, because often during the monsoon, there will be a flood and the water around the house will be several feet deep. Usually you have a boat there handy in case you want to venture out. And here we look at some of the traditional foods and some of the equipment that they use. Now, of course, this is a history going from the past up to the present, so I see modern things like bicycles and electric fans, but there we go. Quite an interesting home. Notice that I don't have air conditioning, but I certainly don't have to worry about heating the home. It's always warm in Bangkok. So shield you from the sun and the rain, and that's about all that home does. And here we're looking at one of the other buildings, and still that same architecture where the home is considerably elevated from the ground, and that's very necessary. In fact, when traveling in Thailand, you'll see a lot of houses are built that way for obvious reasons. So there we go, beautiful sight. Now, that golden archway, which we're getting closer to, that's not really part of the museum. What that is that's welcoming visitors there to the Laplae town. And this is very common in Thailand to see something like this, kind of a gateway to the city. There we go. And they're in Thai. And we see, of course, the little plaque there and the statues. Quite fascinating. So welcoming visitors from all over the world to come visit the town. And you can see this is kind of an interesting situation here, where I've carefully pruned the trees so that they overlap the path. Now, of course, obviously some of the toys and bicycles, they're not really that antique, but hey, I guess you could say they go back almost 100 years.